The temporal lobe is the utility of derivatives. So deriving speech patterns from the beginning of time. Time is an Ephesian of the learning surplus of Kuhn and Cages. So under Kuhns are a subject of owning the powerful rather than the elite. And the elite are chaptered by the cages that do not open but close upon the numbers of letters. So if letters are opened at the number joint, which means they have multiple complexes of synaptic replacement, synapses do not understand what a letter is, but in fact undermine the utility of nationality and replace it with a commandeering of the art. And art is the monotones of a moniker. So monotonally, there is a ionic and a boost point between each part of the synapse that replaces the joint. So the bioptic would be no longer a synapse, but acceleration of the synaptic replacement. So there is 3 points which the synapses overlay each other, which is the conundrum, the college, and the cage. So the conundrum is the open sourcing of the technology. The technology is grafted upon multiple lenses and then open for debate. So this is how the cage is opened at one point or another, but they never open completely. They always remain away from the synapses of the colleges. And colleges are owned by multiple joints of layers that do not open but are relayed under the democracy of which it's pardoned by. So the college is actually the trifecta underneath the bigger trifecta, and this would be the cage. One cage is open as a multiple supply chain of networks underneath. So underneath networks, there are multiple cages, but those cages are lowercase and uncapitalized. So under capitalized letters, the conundrum opens up, and the conundrum steals from the cage its last joint to make a mortgage upon the bioptic nerve. And these bioptics do not exist as conundrums, but as letting down of the colleges that do not open but do not share one another as a source. So the colleges are triviums and questionnaires rather than apartheidist states. So these triviums and questionnaires look like a T, but they do not represent the Christianity known to them because it's capitalized. So under capitalization, not only does the T no longer represent Christ, it represents triangle. So triangle would be the college here because colleges are represented by missionaries. And missionaries overlay each other as if the colleges do not have essence, but represent the church of their saint, which is the saint of the mono. And mono is the bioptic boost that open source the chapter and thesis of a letter. So if a letter is open sourced at the base of the cross is opened at the synapse rather than the conundrum, and the synapse is a period of doubt that opens the conundrum to the colleges. And these colleges are encased inside of a cage, but these networks of cages beneath it that have no representation, they always periodically stay away from one another because they have bigger cages attached. So if these cages are represented by these synapses are coins. And these coins are flipped at random so that the best coin has the choice of choosing whether or not it is fold or complete. So fold is flip and complete is total. So total and flip are actually the loss of lozenges here. So these lozenges are either flipping the bigger arc or the smaller T. And to get a smaller T, it has to have a bigger arc on it, and that's called the Ark of the Covenant.